first step towards owning your own website and starting a podcast is to register the actual name you want to use, called the domain name. It'll look like this in a browser. Lots of web hosts will include it for free when you sign up with them, but you'll need to renew it at the end of each year to hold ownership of that name. You probably won't see this cost until next year, but some people also decide to reserve extra domain names, like alternate spellings that somebody might type by mistake, or the .com and .net to protect brand identity. You'll pay this yearly cost for each domain, but still only need the one hosting account to manage all of them. The cost of hosting your site will depend on the company you choose to go with in the package that you pick, but you'll probably need to budget for between $5 to $10 a month if you want a reliable service. If you still need to be convinced that this is the leap forward you need, that works out to about the same as the most basic paid plan on one of the CloudShare Podbox services or website builders, but without any limits or restrictions. Most hosting companies will offer you a money-back guarantee and let you cancel within the first couple months, so don't worry about getting locked into a contract that you'll be stuck with even if you change your mind later. Each host handles billing cycles differently, but you should be ready to pay for your first year in full when you sign up to get the best value possible. It's always cheaper to pay in advance, but you'll probably still have some other options to break it down into smaller, more manageable chunks. I've gone through a few different companies for my own website over the years, but it's only very recently that I broke the $10 barrier and decided to upgrade to a better $11 a month package so that I could host multiple sites for this training kit. I've already been able to upload and store 10 years of weekly MP3 archives and deliver new podcasts regularly just on standard plans using the setup that I'll show you. When we get into the design and customization of your website using WordPress, you'll have lots of options to make it look exactly the way you want using different themed templates as a starting point. There are thousands of free ones to choose from, but you'll quickly find that it's really worth the initial one-time investment of roughly $50 to have something you really love. Spending a little extra here will give you a more modern, responsive, and functional website that works smoothly with all of the newer generations of mobile devices. There are now over 15,000 options and a huge community of designers and developers updating them and creating better ones all the time. If you ever get tired of the way your website looks, paying $50 to completely overhaul the design without disturbing the database of content you already created will be much quicker and more affordable than working from scratch with a web developer. With over 70,000 free plugins that you can also attach to these frameworks, there's really nothing you can't easily add to your website through the user-friendly WordPress interface. Further into the kit, you'll find video walkthroughs to compare some of the best designs and see how each works a bit differently, plus a long list of the most useful ones for music sites to save you lots of time. It'll be really fun going through them all looking for the perfect layout that will work for you. Starting with a premium design instead of the free options is my top recommendation if you want a good-looking modern site, but it's not essential if your budget won't allow for it and will not affect your podcasting abilities or limit what you can do. When you register your website, one of the options you'll have is called Domain Privacy. For an extra $13 per year, they make sure that none of your contact information appears in public directory records online, which can be used by spammers looking for email addresses or trying to hack your site. They'll only see the information of a forwarding service, and I recommend paying the extra yearly fee for this added privacy option when you sign up if you can afford it. It'll help lock down your site, create an important buffer, and make things more difficult for attackers. In the Working with Images video, I'll give you some ideas for ways that you can get creative with your visual presentation on a tight budget or with limited graphic design skills. You can come up with surprising results on free photo software using simple cut and paste collage techniques, stuff you have on your phone or camera, and images from the internet. But if you really have no interest or eye for design, I bet you know somebody that does. Work something out with them and get help with color schemes, logos, and podcast artwork if you need to. There are plenty of professional graphic designers for hire, but starting out on a budget, you might need to look within your immediate circles for an artistic friend if you're not able to do it yourself. You should never ask somebody to work for free, so if you can't put aside any cash for this, maybe you can come up with a deal that benefits both of you. How about letting them use some of your music to accompany one of their projects, performing at their art exhibit, or offering to build them a website after you learn how?